everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me in today's video. So today I'm finally going to be sitting down to do an updated contour and highlight video. I feel like the last time I did a contour and highlight video was probably over a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago. I honestly can't remember. So I decided to include just contour and highlighting and shimmer highlight and all that great stuff, and I really hope you guys enjoy this video. And if you guys would like to see how I generally contour and highlight using cream products, then please keep on watching. So as you guys can see, I already have my foundation done off of camera. I will leave my flawless foundation routine up in the card so you guys can go and have a look at that. And we're just going to focus on highlighting and contouring today. Now, you guys may know that the general consensus for highlighting and contouring is basically highlighting just brings out certain areas of the face, and contouring kind of pushes back those areas or sort of slims down the areas that you need it to, and also chisels out the face. So that's the general situation. Let's not complicate it anymore. So highlight is to bring forward, contour is to bring back or chisel, to put it plainly as possible. So in today's video, I'm going to try and use as many affordable products as I possibly can to show you guys how to contour and highlight. Now, I prefer to go in with contour after my foundation before highlighting, just because if you do tend to make a mess with your contour, it kind of, highlighting after that kind of corrects any mistakes you possibly could have made. So that is just my preference. But once you get into practicing all these techniques, you will see what more or less works for you the best. So for contour today, I'm going to be using my Girl Pro Conceal. This is in the shade Beautiful Bronze. This is a really beautiful shade. If you guys are darker than me, then Girl does have darker shades than this to contour with, so the opportunities are endless. Now, I've been having a little bit of an issue with regards to the brush applicator with Beautiful Bronze in particular, so I just sort of like yanked it off and I'm just dispensing some on the back of my hand. So to apply the product, I'm going to be using a beige cosmetics stippling brush. Obviously, if you weren't having an issue with your brush applicator on your Beautiful Bronze, then just use the brush applicator. It's no big deal. So firstly, I'm going to be picking up some product on my brush and just sort of drawing lines on my face in the areas that I am going to contour. So let's actually start on the forehead. So I'm just going to take it along my hairline. You guys might not be able to see it because it's not like an extremely dark contour color, if that makes sense. Oh no, you guys can see it. And then I'm going to take some and also just put it in an angle from the top of my ear to the corner of my mouth. So you're kind of going to imagine an imaginary line in this angle. Now, I naturally have a cheekbone and you guys can see it right there. So that is generally where I would put my contour shade, and just connecting all of that to the temples as well. I just like to have a contour helmet going on, and then doing that on the other side, and then taking some on my jawline as well. Now you want to start off with a little bit of product at a time and then work your way up from there. If you put too much of product, it's a little difficult to take away. And then I'm going to put some on my nose as well. If you guys want a detailed nose contour routine, let me know. I feel like my nose contour routine changes slightly every month or so. But I literally just shade the sides of my nose. And then I go in. I kind of look where the light naturally hits my nose, and then I will contour right above that, just lightly. Again, this is not extremely precise because we're going to go in with a highlight and just pretty much emphasize those areas. So a lot of people will sometimes put on their contour and put on their highlight and then blend everything in. for me that just doesn't work very well. So I'm going to be taking a damp beauty blending sponge, and to blend out my contour I'm going to be using the booty side of the blender, if that makes sense. So to blend out my contoured areas, I'm literally just going to pat out the product. And honestly, a beauty blender is probably like the quickest way that I find to blend contour, highlight, foundation as well. Don't forget to blend the jawline. I feel like sometimes I can forget to blend the jawline. It becomes a hot mess, honestly. And then lastly, going into the nose area. So as you guys could see, I didn't put like tons of product on the skin, and it just blends and fades out so nicely. So I'm going to be picking up whatever product is left on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to slightly intensify my cheek contour and darken up my forehead slightly. And this way it's also less messy. The less product you have on your face, the less messy everything is. I have like a weird line of scarring in this area, so it kind of looks like I have a line going straight through my cheeks. That's so weird. Okay, so now I'm pretty happy with the cream contouring. Now we're going to go in and highlight the face, and I'm going to be using my favorite, my LA Pro Conceal. This is in the shade medium beige. I generally go for medium beige, warm honey, or pure beige. So those are the colors that I really like. And for this, I'm going to be using the applicator. So I squeezed out quite a bit of product on there, and I'm going to be drawing some triangular shapes under my eyes. So I kind of like to start the product almost not right under my eye, like not right by my lash line. I like to start it like almost in the crease or the dip here, and then just sort of like feather it out. And I generally am quite heavy-handed when it comes to the under eye area, just because I like the coverage to be the most intense under the eye. Now some people like to take the highlight right up against the side of the nose. I personally don't like to do that because I feel like it can be a little too harsh, and there's also a lot of product on the nose area. So I will show you guys how I take my highlight right up until the side of the nose, but for now this is generally the shape I prefer. And then I'm going to do like a little tree or a protea, whatever you want to call it, in the center of my face. And then I'm just going to go about halfway down on my nose like that. I'm literally just using the width of the brush to kind of create that line. And then again, you see where the light is naturally hitting my nose, which is right here. That is where I am going to highlight the tip of my nose. So you want to work with where the light is hitting your face. And then I'm going to go in and just put a little bit on my upper lip, just because I like to highlight my upper lip to get rid of that 5 o'clock shadow. And if you overdraw your upper lip, it just looks really nice. And then I'm taking the top side of my beauty blending sponge, and I'm just going to blend everything out. So I like to start with my chin area and then work my way in the center of the face and then go under the eye area, simply because I went so heavy-handed under the eye area, it's going to dry out some of that concealer and give me more coverage, and I love that. So when you're blending the under eye area, I like to start on the cheek area right there, and then I go in and work right under the eye and just blend out that area. And I'll take the concealer on my lid as well to just prep for eyeshadow. And then when it comes to the side of the nose, I literally just take the sponge and just kind of hug my contour just like that, and then just use the bottom side to blend out any edges. Now that we've pretty much blended out all the cream products on the face, it is time to go in and set everything into place. That totally rhymed. So I'm going to be going in with my Yardley Absolute translucent powder. I kind of removed the sieve because I'm so low on this powder. It's a problem. And I'm just going to be taking a dry sponge. You guys can use a wet sponge. It really doesn't matter. And I'm just going to be baking all my highlighted areas. The only product that I'm using today that is not affordable or not available at the drugstore is my Benefit Hoola. This has become a firm favorite, and it does all the things that need to be done for my skin tone. So that's why I love it. So this is my big size Hoola bronzer, if you guys were wondering. I busted out the big boy, and I'm basically going to pick this up on like a blush brush shaped brush, or any brush that you guys prefer, and I'm just going to pat this on my contoured areas to just set my contour into place. I'm not being too heavy-handed with this bronzer, but it is going to make my contour darker. Then I'm also going to slightly start buffing to just make sure there are no harsh lines and everything is nicely blended. And I'm taking a smaller brush for my nose contour and just setting that into place as well. Now you guys don't have to bake like I am baking. You can literally go in with like a setting brush and just go in with your favorite powder and just set all the areas that you wish to set, and you'll be good to go. I personally prefer baking because I have very prominent lines under my eyes, on my smile lines, on my forehead. If I don't bake, everything will crease. And I generally like to leave my face to bake while I do the rest of my makeup. So I'm about to go do that, and I'll be right back. So now we're gonna go ahead and just dust off all of the bake, and I preferably like to have my bake on because if any eyeshadow tends to fall down while I'm busy, then my foundation doesn't get ruined and everything is good in the hood. Now next we're gonna go in with a blush. Now this is optional on an everyday basis. I generally don't wear blush. I will literally just go in with bronzer and highlight and I'm pretty much good to go. But I'm gonna be using this Revlon blush in this shade Sultry Sienna and just putting that on my cheeks. And then for my favorite part, which is highlight, I'm going to be using my Tassy B Limelight powder. This is in the shade Flame, which is such a beautiful, beautiful color. I'm just picking this up on a blending brush, and I'm going to just use whatever's in the cap. It's probably like the easiest way. Just highlighting my cheekbones, sides of my temples. Now a lot of people get confused with the shimmer highlight part of your face and the concealer highlight part of your face. Now highlighting with a shimmer literally just brings such a glow to your face, kind of gives you like a glow from within, sort of sun-kissed vibes. I also like to highlight my upper lip and my chin, and then taking a smaller brush and just highlighting the tip of my nose. Recently I've just been highlighting the tip of my nose and kind of leaving it at that, but sometimes I'll just take whatever's left on my brush and just lightly highlight my bridge just to bring some lightness into this area of my face. And then once that is all done, I like to go in with a setting spray. I'm gonna go back old school and use rose water just because my skin has been so dry with the change of season. It's a struggle, you guys. So that is pretty much it for this cream contour and highlight video. It's more or less the same principle with powder contour and highlight. You're just not setting your cream product. You're literally just putting powders on the face, if that makes any sense at all. So I really hope this video has helped you guys, and obviously if your face shape is a little bit different to mine, then you might have to adjust your technique. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to get notifications for every time I upload. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to slay all day every day with and without makeup, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.